I am a trainer at LearningRx. Before coming to LearningRx, I was a teacher for 7 years. I kept tutoring kids and we kept running into so many problems about not being able to cross certain thresholds with getting sight words down or math facts down. And I was tutoring these 2 young girls and we kept running into so many problems. And I was talking to their mom one day and she realized, well, we used to go to this place called LearningRx. And I was like, well, that sounds cool, tell me more. And she was telling me all about brain training and what they do. It focuses on certain skills of the brain, and I just immediately was magnetized to this new way of teaching. After being in the classroom for so many years, it was just so cool to think about how the brain can be trained differently than a chorus of children listening to a lecture.
This program is so fascinating. It's amazing to me that our brains can be trained, that they're not fixed and we're not just born with our IQ, but that we are able to grow our brains. And I relate it to a personal trainer at the gym, that you hire a personal trainer to help get your body in shape, and at LearningRx we're brain trainers that help get your brain in shape.
Brain training for me is helping people flourish in every way, to be the best that they can be. So I'm a pastor, and my heart's desire is to help people flourish. And as a pastor, it's thinking through spiritual matters. Brain training was a natural extension of that for me, is to help people flourish in a different way, which is through their brain. I mean, everything we do comes through the brain. And so why wouldn't we want the brain to be optimized and working as quickly and efficiently as it can?
The difference it is the focus on what you've done wrong. It's what you're doing right and how you can get better. One of the things that I noticed that was a difference from the teaching or the tutoring side of it is more of a positivity.
My favorite part is we're adding the distraction element that you would normally get in real life. So if they're telling me how many colors they can see at a time, I'm over on the side making noises and adding some distractions, because that's what real life is. It's those distraction things.
I love that every student is unique, so they come in with their own set of needs. And I love that every training session is unique and special.
You're just sitting, like, speeding up your time. You're just trying to beat yourself. You are your competition. I'm not. So it kind of just opens up avenues and see things differently from a different perspective that we aren't normally used to.
It's relational. I mean, it's not a job where you go sit at a desk and you do paperwork and you go home and say goodbye. There's real relationship here. And so there's laughter, there's smiles. Building that relationship is the coolest thing. So then when you do see progress and you do see breakthroughs, it's all the more rewarding because you know this person and you've watched them grow. You've seen that process.
So in a brain session, we are keeping a relationship with the child and helping motivate them, not just to get the right answer, because at the end of the day, we want them to grow and want their brain to grow and really to have that growth mindset of I can do hard things and I can accomplish great things. So those learning sessions are really focused to quality one-on-one time that they don't get anywhere else. And so they're really building all these different skills in a very close-knit relational environment.
I will say that coming from the education background, looking at the differences, it's not so much as old school tutoring, because it's not a right or wrong. It's a, can you do it? More like a yes I can, not a negative, oh you got this one wrong. It's not to say you got it wrong, it's just a practice until you get it better, get it, encouragement to get to progress, not necessarily to show you what you've done wrong, but show you how you're progressing.
It's crazy to think about how much it affects different areas of the classroom and life, whether it's driving a car, remembering to stay in line, walking down the hallway. So many things are affected by brain training.
I was introduced to LearningRx through my daughter. She began to have some struggles in 1st and 2nd grade, but it was obvious to me that there were some memory issues. She was struggling to process things. She could not remember how to spell words. She really struggled with figuring out unknown words. So I needed more help. I knew that it wasn't just content, that something was really wrong. And I asked for the schools to help, and it was just taking so long that I got online myself and found LearningRx. It transformed things. It was so fascinating. fascinating to me. I used that word over and over and over again. I was just blown away at the way I saw improvements in her school ability and just her ability to be organized at home. Her memory improved drastically. You know, if your child was sick with a health issue, you would make the sacrifice. You would pay for the medical treatments they need, and you would invest the time in it. So we just saw it as that. We saw that it was an investment worth making in her life, and we committed to it, and we did it.
So I got to work with a lovely kindergarten student, and I started working with her before she started kindergarten. And when we started, it was a struggle. We were starting with letter identification, sounds, and numbers, and there were many times where we had to do the same basic number block game multiple times. And you start to wonder, okay, is this working or not? And we kept persisting, and it was so fun. By the end of that training, you could give her a number and she would build those blocks in about 2 seconds. And even hearing from her mom that her kindergarten teacher was impressed, that she was reading multi-syllable words by the end of that training, it's just showing how huge a progress that training can have even in a classroom, because unfortunately teachers can't handle all those issues. So that sweet little girl went from staring at the blocks for almost 10 minutes trying to find the number 5 to immediately finding 5, 8, 12, 13 multi-digit numbers, which is really cool to see how much she got excitement over it as well.
Anytime he made one mistake, he was out, he was done, and just couldn't take it. Was not buying into thinking positively about himself and about the ability to grow. But when I first met him, my goal in the first 2 sessions was just like, I'm just gonna we're gonna do some exercises, but I want to build rapport. And so we've been able to do that in a very short time. He's already starting to open up and be positive, and once that happens, then you can really dive in and work hard, because you're not worried about failure, you're worried about growth. And that's what we're trying to work on now.
I think brain training should be in all schools. If I've learned anything from my years of education, you can only do so much with corporate kind of class teaching. Brain training and the one-on-one and the persistent directness of our training and the routine of those drills, I think that is the foundation of what learning will be. I think that's really the only way I've seen true success, which is a little scary to say. I've been in a classroom for so long, but the most success I've had is that one-on-one intensive training and not giving up when they get the wrong answer, but persisting and retraining the brain with that right answer and not letting them get away with, oh, well, we'll get it next time. Nope, we're getting it right now. And then the next time I see them, they already have it.
We definitely grow up in our schools and in society thinking that things should come naturally and things should be easy and you just learn them and that's it. But a lot of times it takes effort.
If you enjoy people, if you want to help people, if you want to see people grow and flourish, you like growth, you like progress, and you like doing that through relationship, then you're going to love being a brain trainer.